yeah, the old habits I think were just feeling safe and comfortable in one job, in not in one job, but in a role, because I moved around with jobs, but it was the same role that I was doing. I was still in teaching. And I have lots of other interests. And a few years ago, I went on a journey of self-discovery, and I got into all the spiritual stuff, that it was chakra stuff, and I absolutely loved it, and it just felt like this was right for me. And then I got into life coaching, so I did a bit of life coaching before, and again, it just felt like, oh my gosh, this feels right. But I didn't pursue them enough because it was new territory, and I felt scared
Yeah.
because what I knew was, it was all familiar, what I knew, and I could do it now, and it was easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
um so I don't want to fall back into those habits of thinking, right, I have to go back to what I know. I want to explore new territory,
Yeah.
and I want to feel good about that. And I feel like, exploring new territory or having change is not a bad thing. In fact, it feels like living. Since I have, dumped that job, dumped that role, I felt like I'm alive again. Because I'm actually I'm taking a risk, I'm doing something else, and my brain's thinking in a different way now. So I feel like I've made the right call with that, and I don't want to get back into those habits where you just feel safe
Yeah.
and secure.
So the key there is to stay focused on the
Yes,
excitement of creating something new, on the
absolutely.
positive stress of not knowing what's going to happen, but at least having the ownership and the control over potentially what that might be. Otherwise, if
Absolutely.
you get stuck focusing on, I know I don't want this, I don't want to fall into those old habits, then you're still actually entertaining and being attached to those old habits. So you've
Absolutely.
really got to watch the language and stay focused on what you do want and where you want to go. And
Mm.
and sometimes, the beauty, what I see a lot, and you probably have already in retrospect experienced this, but what I see a lot is, and what we see a lot with clients, is when they first begin a new journey or a new transformation or a new direction, their goals are based on what they know at that time, which of course
Mm.
is a lot of I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how I'm going to do this. I don't know if it's going to work out. I don't know where it's going to take me. So they base their their idea and they reach for some kind of familiarity, what they think they might be able to achieve. But when you stay focused on that pathway, and a lot of shifts are happening in the mind and the belief structure and the paradigms, and as you're focused on moving in that new direction and learning more about yourself and celebrating those changes and being excited about, I don't know what's going to happen, but I at least know that it's going to be in on my terms because I'm making the
Yes.
decisions, I'm making the choices. Then along the journey, the goal can absolutely shift and change and morph in all kinds of ways because suddenly the person's becoming more confident. They're becoming um, uh, more a sense of who they are and knowing what that is and what that means. They're becoming more connected to their abilities
Yes.
and knowing that I can figure this out. Where it might have
Yes.
scared me a month ago, it doesn't scare me now because I know that I can figure it out even if I don't know how to do it. So then that
Yeah.
goal can become bigger and it can become grander and it can become something that is more reflective of the person they are becoming, not the person they
Absolutely.
were when they started and they made the goal.
Yes. Absolutely. I
That's
completely agree with that.
exciting.
It's so exciting. I mean, I love this feeling now, and I completely agree with you. This course, I have to tell you, has been amazing in that there's been times when I found it quite challenging, just because it's forced me to think about things that I may not necessarily have wanted to, or even put down, not on paper, but obviously technologically. Um, but it forces you to go through that process that you're taking your clients on when you have the clients, and I think that's been an amazing thing. And I think I was already on the journey, so that helps. But I think doing the course has kind of intensified that a little bit for me, and now I tune into lots of positive things on a daily basis. So, you know, there's the Joe Dispenza thing. I literally found out about him. I came across him by accident, and then he happened to be in your course, and it was like, wow, okay. And then I've just tapped into so many different things, you know, like the motivational things, but I make a point of doing it every day. So, you know, sometimes, most of the time, I'll do it once in the morning and once in the before I go to bed. That I'm listening to these things. I'm also like I'm doing yoga now. I'm doing more meditation. So I'm doing what the difference I think now is that I'm actually giving myself time, which is what I need to do in order to not go back to those behaviors we were just discussing, because all of that was entwined in me being so busy I never made time for myself, you know. Now I'm in a space where making time for myself has become a priority. So, you know, I'm looking at my health, you know, what I'm eating. You know, if I'm going to be a holistic life coach, which is what my intention is to be, then that encompasses everything. You know, you know, when I'm speaking to my clients, it's not just about what, you know, us having these kind of discussions. It's about what are you putting into your body. You know, that helps as well. Are you exercising? Are you moving your body? That definitely helps. You know, a lot of people don't realize the impact of these things on the way our minds work. And so I started a nutrition course years ago, and I really regret not finishing it. But I'm kind of getting back there, back to just looking after self. Therefore, I'm in a better position when I'm looking after others. I've even got my daughter into it. She's loving the whole positive stuff. Yeah,
That is wonderful.
yeah, it
And
is.
what have you actually learned about the beliefs behind those behaviors that you've been able to shift and change to experience this whole new positive outlook on your life that's actually spurred you into, you know, stopping a job after 20 years that you realized you didn't want to do and renegotiating the terms of working that's actually now going to support you to build upon this
Do you
coaching?
know something, Vicky? I've got to tell you something. One of the things that I have really realized is our belief system is so strong. I mean, I'm quite emotional right now, to be honest, just talking about this bit here, because I've held some beliefs for so long. I was explaining this to my daughter that they've been rooted. You know, my belief systems have been rooted. So you've had these beliefs for years, yeah, and then now I've come to a point where I just think, but actually, I can change my belief system. I don't have to hold on to whatever went on however long ago, which is what I have done. I have done this for the longest time. I'm 50 years old. My daughter is 25, and I'm saying to her now, you can do whatever it is you want to do. You can, if this is what you believed yesterday, and now something has made you believe something another today, that's your new belief system. You can change your belief system to suit your life. And I've kind of now, that's where I'm at now. I'm thinking to myself, I can do whatever it is I want to do. And I should not allow other people's thoughts, their actions, their belief systems influence mine. I should be, you know, what are my values? Because I think values and belief systems are quite important in the decisions that you make on a daily basis. So, you know, what are my belief systems? Not what were they, what are they? And it can be quite scary, because you're in the field of the unknown, but there is an excitement to it. I don't know, and maybe it's because my age as well, but I just feel like this is right now. This is, you know, I can control whatever it is I want to control. Even if I make a mistake, who cares? So what? We make mistakes in life. The way I read it now is it's a learning experience, yeah. You know, may have made a mistake, but maybe it's just a lesson that I was supposed to go through to propel me into the next stage of my life. So that is very much how I'm viewing things. That's how I talk. That's the conversations I have with my children. That's how I speak to them now, you know, about having these belief systems and changing your environment to the way that you believe you want it to be.
How fantastic.
It is. It is. Yeah, it really is. And I really feel as though I am, I'm going to make a really good coach. I feel as though I'm going to make a very good life coach. And I feel really good about embarking upon that experience. I feel very excited about it. So thank you very, very much, Vicky.
Oh, my pleasure.